The film opens on a man named Harry, a former soldier who now works as a wrestling coach at a nearby university. Wrestling wasn't just his job, it was how he kept his mind busy. The military days had left a mark on him, but helping young athletes gave him a purpose. Coaching kept him sane, or at least distracted from the loneliness that lived quietly in his home. One evening, as Harry walks through his front door, his phone rings. The name Detective Jones flashes on the screen. Harry answers casually, not knowing that in a few seconds, his world will collapse. The detective's voice is calm but heavy. "Harry, I'm calling about your daughter, Jane. She's at the hospital. She's in a coma." Harry freezes, the words sinking in like slow poison. His teenage daughter, his little girl, had been attacked. The detective adds, it was her boyfriend. He's in custody. Harry doesn't wait for another word. He grabs his keys and races to the hospital. When he gets there, the sight of Jane lying motionless, covered in tubes, hits him like a punch to the gut. He sits beside her, holding her hand, his eyes fixed on the slow beep of the monitor. He talks to her softly, begging her to wake up, even though deep down he knows she can't hear him. Detective Jones shows up later that night. He looks tired, the kind of tired that comes from seeing too many broken families. "We got him," he says quietly. He confessed. The detective explains how Jane's boyfriend lost control after she refused to be intimate with him. In his rage, he attacked her, thinking it was just a moment of anger, not realizing he was putting her life on the line. Harry listens, but the words barely register. His daughter, his only child, is gone in every way that matters. Weeks later, justice arrives. The court sentences the attacker to life in prison. The news brings Harry no joy, only a hollow sense of closure. Justice may have been served, but it didn't bring Jane back. After the trial, Harry drifts through life like a ghost. He goes through the motions, teaching, coaching, existing, but nothing fills the empty space inside him. Every night, he sits alone with a drink, staring at old photos of Jane, remembering her laugh, her smile, her teenage sarcasm. Detective Jones calls once in a while to check on him. Harry always says, "I'm fine, man." Really, though they both know it's a lie. Jones reminds him that he's there if Harry ever needs anything. Harry thanks him, but deep down, he's already shut himself off from the world. One night, in an attempt to escape his thoughts, Harry goes to the movies. For 2 hours, he wants to lose himself in someone else's story. But even that small escape doesn't last. A few rows ahead, a young man starts harassing his girlfriend, ignoring her pleas to stop. Harry watches for a moment, the soldier in him stirring. Then he gets up. "Hey," she said, "no. Leave her alone." The guy turns, irritated, and throws popcorn at Harry. "Mind your business, old man." When the movie ends, Harry walks out calmly, but the guy follows him outside, puffed up with misplaced pride. Harry doesn't want trouble. "Kid, go somewhere else if you want to act tough," he says evenly. That's when the guy pulls a knife. Big mistake. Harry reacts instinctively, swift, controlled, military precision. Within seconds, the knife clatters to the ground, and the punk is gasping for air. Harry doesn't say another word. He just walks away. The next day, Harry is back at the gym, working with his students. Among them is Kadia, a bright, determined girl who reminds him of Jane. She's got fire in her eyes and a quiet sadness she tries to hide. Harry takes her under his wing, not just as a coach, but as a mentor. He tells her to push herself, to study hard, to fight for a better future. It's clear he sees in her the reflection of the daughter he lost. That evening, Kadia goes home. Her stepfather, Tom, is waiting, and he's not in a good mood. "Where's the food?" he snaps. She explains she didn't have time, but Tom doesn't care. When she slams her bedroom door, he bursts in, shouting that she's disrespectful. Before she can respond, he slaps her. "Get out if you can't follow the rules," he yells. Kadia, shaking with anger, fights back. The situation spirals until her mother, Linda, rushes in to break it up. Kadia, tired of the shouting, tired of the pain, decides she's done. Linda begs her to stay, but Kadia walks out, tears mixing with anger. Later that night, Harry spots her sitting alone at a bus stop. The sight of her sitting there, looking lost and broken, pulls at something deep inside him. He pulls over. "You okay?" he asks gently. She hesitates, then nods. Harry offers her a ride, and they end up at a small diner. Over burgers and fries, Kadia tells him everything. How her stepdad mistreats her, how she feels unwanted at home. Harry listens carefully, trying to hide his anger. "You should go back," he says softly. "Your mom's probably worried sick. I'll talk to Tom." Kadia looks uncertain, but Harry assures her, "You're like a daughter to me. I'm not going to let him hurt you again." Those words hit home. She agrees to return, and Harry drives her back, promising to check in on her the next day. When practice ends the following afternoon, Harry notices a dark bruise on Kadia's cheek. His stomach drops. Tom's done it again. He gives Kadia some cash for food and drives straight to her house. When Tom opens the door, Harry's calm but firm. "You lay another hand on her, I'll make sure you end up in jail for child abuse." Tom laughs mockingly. "She's my problem, not yours." That's when Harry snaps. He grabs Tom's arm and twists it hard, his voice cold. Then start acting like a father. Just then, Kadia walks in, holding a takeout bag. Harry tells her to hand it to Tom, who's glaring but silent. Kadia, half smiling, tosses the bag toward him, the food landing on his injured arm. For once, she feels someone standing up for her. The next morning, Harry's summoned to the police station. Tom has filed an assault complaint. There, Detective Jones looks surprised. "Harry, seriously?" Harry explains everything. Tom's abuse, Kadia's bruises, the threats. Jones believes him and promises to check things out quietly. "Don't say anything for now," he advises. "Let me handle it." Meanwhile, Tom has other plans. He calls his shady friend Sergio, who works for Rich, a crime boss involved in human trafficking. Tom complains about Kadia's defiance. Sergio, cold and calculating, offers him $10,000 to hand her over for a secret auction. Without hesitation, Tom agrees. The deal is set. Once Kadia is done with her classes, she'll be taken. Later that day, Tom calls Kadia, pretending to be concerned. "Hey, I'm sorry about earlier. Let me pick you up from school, and I'll grab your mom for work too." Kadia, surprised by his sudden kindness, agrees, unaware she's walking straight into a trap. That evening, Harry's phone rings again. It's Detective Jones. His tone is urgent. "We just got a missing person report," he says. "A woman named Linda. She's looking for her daughter, Kadia." Harry's blood runs cold. The name hits him like lightning. He realizes, with dread, that the girl who reminded him of his own daughter has vanished. He didn't waste a second. He jumped into his car and drove straight to her school, hoping there'd be some clue about where she went. Once there, he cornered the security guard and demanded to see the surveillance footage from the previous day. The guard hesitated at first, but Harry's expression said he wasn't in the mood for small talk. When the video started rolling, Harry's heart dropped. There she was, Kadia, getting into Tom's car. The same man who'd claimed to care about her. The same stepfather who had been warned to stay away from her. That single frame told Harry everything he needed to know. Tom had something to do with her disappearance. Without waiting for confirmation, Harry stormed off to confront him. Tom opened the door with his usual smug grin, acting like nothing had happened. "Where's Kadia?" Harry barked. Tom shrugged, leaning against the wall with fake confidence. "She ran away again. That's what she does, right?" Harry could see it in his eyes. Tom was lying. The casual tone, the little smirk, it all pushed him over the edge. He grabbed Tom by the collar, slammed him against the wall, and demanded the truth. When Tom still refused to talk, Harry lost it. He hit him once, twice, until Tom finally cracked. Okay, I gave her to Sergio," he shouted, blood on his lip and fear in his voice. The words hit like a lightning bolt. Harry's mind raced. Sergio, the same scumbag connected to the city's underworld. Without giving Tom a chance to breathe, Harry dragged him out to his car and forced him inside. "You're gonna take me to him. Now." They drove in tense silence until they reached Sergio's hideout. When Harry burst through the door, Sergio looked startled for a split second before bolting deeper inside. But Harry was faster. He tackled him to the ground and pinned him down, rage pouring through his clenched fists. "Where is she?" he demanded. Sergio tried to act tough at first, but Harry twisted his arm until a pained scream broke his act. Okay. I handed her over to Rich," he finally confessed. The name Rich made Harry's blood run cold. Everyone in that part of town knew who he was, a crime boss with deep ties to human trafficking. Sergio spilled the rest. Rich ran secret auctions in a Las Vegas casino where rich men bid on kidnapped girls. Whoever offered the most got complete control over the victims. Harry could barely contain his fury. He tied up Sergio and Tom in a locked room, leaving them to stew in their guilt, and then got back on the road. Before heading toward Las Vegas, he called Detective Jones and told him everything. How Kadia had been sold off and where she might be. Jones didn't waste time either. He immediately looped in Kadia's mother, Linda, who insisted on joining the rescue mission despite Jones's hesitation. He knew she wouldn't back down, so he reluctantly let her come. Meanwhile, Harry reached the casino in Las Vegas, ready to walk straight into the lion's den. To get closer to Rich's operation, he posed as a wealthy buyer. At the front desk, he met Dale, the hotel manager, who clearly knew more than he let on. Dale narrowed his eyes and asked, "Who told you about the auction?" Harry lied smoothly, saying, "Sergio. We go way back. I'm close with the organization." That seemed to convince Dale. Believing Harry was part of the inner circle, he handed him a key card and casually mentioned that the event would start at 11 p.m. "Everything's online now," Dale added with a smirk. "You'll see the girls on screen. Place your bid, and if you win, you'll get the pickup details." Harry checked into his room and immediately called Detective Jones, who was already at the Las Vegas Police Department. "Don't come in yet," Harry warned him. "I haven't found Kadia." But before he could finish explaining, Chief Vanessa, who was running the operation, decided to launch a raid anyway. Harry was furious. "If you go in too early, they'll kill the girls," he argued. "Let me find them first. Then we hit hard." After a long pause, Vanessa agreed to hold back, giving Harry a narrow window to act. When 11 p.m. hit, Harry logged into the virtual auction. One by one, the screens flickered to life, showing terrified young girls being presented to the bidders. Then, Kadia's face appeared, and Harry froze. She looked frightened but alive. He immediately entered a bid, pushing the price higher with every second. But another bidder, a wealthy man from the Middle East, kept raising the stakes. Despite Harry's desperate attempts, he was eventually outbid. The screen went dark. He slammed his laptop shut and called Jones again. "They've sold her. Start moving the team. The casino's a front, but the real location's off-site. I'm gonna find her myself." While Jones coordinated the police response, Harry began searching the hotel for clues. After cornering Dale once again, he forced the truth out of him. Kadia was being held at Rich's warehouse near the airport. Harry relayed the address to Jones and took off before backup could arrive. When he got to the warehouse, he pretended to be one of Rich's buyers there to pick up his purchase. Rich's right-hand man, Martin, was guarding the place. He looked suspicious, but eventually bought Harry's story after he claimed to be a close friend of Rich. Still, Martin sent one of his goons to escort Harry inside, just to be sure. Then, the moment Harry saw Kadia, her eyes widened in shock. "Coach," she gasped without thinking. The thug turned immediately, realizing something wasn't right. Before he could react, Harry grabbed him and took him down in seconds. He then cut Kadia free and told her to round up the other girls. They moved toward an underground exit, trying to sneak everyone out before reinforcements arrived. But just as they thought they were in the clear, Rich showed up, gun in hand. His voice was cold, calm, and deadly. "You should have stayed out of my business, Coach." Harry slowly turned, facing him down. There was no fear in his eyes this time, just anger and resolve. Rich raised his gun, finger tightening on the trigger. Before he could fire, the sound of police sirens filled the air. Detective Jones and his team burst through the doors, weapons drawn. Shots were fired. In the chaos, Rich went down, and his men surrendered. The human trafficking ring that had destroyed so many lives was finally exposed. As the dust settled, Harry found Kadia huddled in a corner. She ran to him and hugged him tightly, crying. "You came for me," she whispered. In the final moments, Detective Jones approached Harry with a tired smile. "You did good," he said, "but something tells me this isn't over. I've got another case, and I could use your help." Harry sighed, half smiling. "Yeah," he said softly. "One last job." And with that, the screen fades to black.